Hey guys, Locus here, and here's another review of this awesome figure from the SIC or Super Imaginative Chogokin toy line. This is called the Mask Rider Agito Volume 19 from Bandai. This figure was released way back in 2003, so that makes this figure it was released I think more than 13-14 years ago. So yeah, it's been sitting in my shelf for the longest time, and I just decided to make a review of this figure. Just in case you don't have any idea yet on what goes on with this figure. So let's go ahead with the packaging. As you can see, the figure came with a nice and very large display window where you can see the exact figure and the accessories that it came with, the alternate parts as well. And it seems that it came with two trays, which of course the first is the one uh, that carries the figure and the armor parts, and then the second layer would be, or the second tray would be, the other accessories it came with. And yeah, so it came with the storm form and then the flame form, so it's an interchangeable piece. Up top there's a display window as well, the sides here as well. Alright, and then at the back there's a preview of the figure itself, the front and back, and interchangeable forms, as you can see here. And then this I forgot the name of this particular character, but it's still Agito. Like in the series, it's the sister who died of this Suichi. I think the name of the guy, the antagonist, protagonist of the series is Suichi. So he has a sister, and her sister, his sister became Agito first. So yeah, you can just check the web, just to get a detail on the storyline of this particular series. Yeah, so you can search Kamen Rider Agito. So as mentioned, so this is the cover of the tray. Alright, we're gonna take that off, and then this is the second one that protects the figure itself. Then it seems that we have one loose here. Then this is the figure itself. The figure stands at least 7-inch tall, and this was sculpted by Kenji Ando. We can just take this out later on, the rest of the parts. And then for an old release, of course, there are still parts here that wasn't taken out, because originally, if it's somewhere between, I think, the 2010 or I think 2009 to the most earlier days that it was this figure came out, the figure are being secured by these twist wires, just to properly secure the figures. So here's the figure. As mentioned, the figure stands at the 7-inch tall. For the articulation of the figure, the head can move individually. It's a two-piece articulation, ball joint supporting the head, and then another ball joint connecting to the neck to the body. So the head can move upward and downward. Since it's on a ball joint, it can tilt a little, but due to the design of the armor, it kind of restricts it from moving or having a more range of motion there. But it tilts, it swivels, so it does that. And the mouthpiece kind of moves, as you can see. Alright, but just a little, not so much. Okay, for a classic release, you won't expect much on the articulation. Like for instance, it doesn't have like a hinge right there or a ball joint that somehow helps you expand the bicep. So the arms can go as far as that. It can swivel, right? And then it's on like it seems like a hinge or a ball joint going on here, and then a ball joint right there. I think it's a ball joint. Seems like it, and stuffs are starting to fall down easily. Okay. So yeah, it's on a double ball joint right there, and then here connecting to the forearm. So there's like a dual or a two what do you call it? 2 points of articulation here. All right. Okay. So I think that's the gripe with this kind of line or this particular series is that, you know, with the interchangeable piece. It seems like the parts are not stable at all, that, you know, stuff tends to fall off easily, like the head, as you've seen, the armor guards and the shoulder guards. So it's if you have like a tacky glue or a tacky stick, you can do that to secure the parts so it won't fall off easily, or if you want, you can glue it permanently, but I wouldn't suggest that. But yeah, going back, the hand is on a ball joint, so it can turn like that. All right, so the forearm piece, it can swivel, it can move, so it's a good thing. And then for the abdominal part, it can move upward a little. It can look downward. All right. It has a waist swivel ball joint right there, so good range of motion. And then for the leg piece, let's put in here so you can have a better view of the articulation with the parts on. So the legs can do splits. It cannot move backward due to the detailing here on the butt or butt cheeks, but it can move upward. All right. And then since it's on a hinge, this is how they do it with this series. So it's on a peg right here with a hinge right here with a ball joint right there. So pretty much it's a double jointed system. As you can see, it's a double joint system. So it has a good range. You know, it has a good range of motion right there, as you can see. And okay, I think you can swivel it like that, so it can swivel, you know, it can swivel, it can, like, since it's the part here is on a ball joint, so it can move as well. So if you want to do some poses, I think it's doable. And then for the feet, it doesn't have a toe articulation. It doesn't have a toe articulation, or the you know, the here, the hinge that you usually see in some figures, but it doesn't have that. But it's on a ball joint right there, so it can tilt. So it has a pivot function. It can move up and down, and then sideways as well. So that's pretty much it for the articulation. Very nice compound eyes, as you can see. And then it has a very nice sculpt. At first I thought it was created or sculpted by Takayuki Takeya, but I found out it's Kenji Ando. So yeah, so the only die-cast parts here is the belt here. All right, this one is made of translucent plastic, so it's nice. This detailing here, right here on the side of the belt, is die-cast. The back here feels like a plastic, and then there's some nice wing detailing here at the back, as you can see. Very nice. Alright, so the sculpting is very good. I really like it a lot. And then for the feet right here, so it has an Agito logo right there. Then the other one, you know, it's very consistent to the one that we've seen in the series, or the character in the series. So yeah, so for the interchangeable piece, we can just check on that, and then I can post the manual that came with the figure and how or which part goes to where on my blog, so you can check it out later on. So here are the accessories or stuff that came with the figure. So it came with a sword for the storm form. It's made out of die cast, so it's nice. It has some nice detailing here on the sword. There you go. I hope you can see it. but yeah, it has some letterings there, ancient letterings here there, and this is the back. As you can see, there's some nice detailing. It's shiny. It has a good weight to it. I just hope that, you know, the figure can handle it. We will be able to know that later. And then this is for the spear. I think we can call it as a spear for the sake of this review. This is for the storm form. It has some detailing here as well on the blades of the spear like thing. So it has a good weight to it as well. There's a good sculpting. And then for the upper body parts of the flame and storm form, it's in a soft rubbery material. The detailing, the sculpting is very consistent, and as you can see here, the chest piece right here is different from this one. You know, so it's a nice thing that it has a very unique details. It's not like it was just remolded. And then the wing part here is a little bit transparent. As you can see, it's very nice. And then the connection piece here is there. So there's like a pegs right there. You will take that off and put it on the figure. And then this is the upper body if you want to convert the character into Kamen Rider Yuki. I think that's what they call it. I forgot. If you know it, you can just go ahead and comment it down below and let me know. So it has the same level of articulation, like a ball joint there. So it has a swivel on the waist. It has a hinge right here. So it has a an articulation there on the abdominal part. It has some double ball joint here on the shoulder. So it has a good range, or probably, you know, just to put a good range on the arms and the neck piece. All right. And then this is for his I forgot what they call this in the series, but this is when he's about to deploy his finishing move. So it's made out of good translucent plastic. As you can see, it has a good vibrant look on it. And then here's the extra mouthpiece. So the way you're gonna do it on the head, of course, the head such a shape. You need to take that off. It's easy. And then I think you need to take this off. I believe so. You have to remove the neck. Oh my god. Okay. I think you need to take this off. I guess, because it didn't came with an extra head. But it looks the same though. So it's weird. I just don't get it at all. So let's go ahead and attach this thing. Yeah, it's the same. So I don't see the sense here. It's weird. But this is how it looks like. Right, so there's like detailing here, additional horns added on the head. And then this is the shoulder piece of the flame and storm form. This is the hands and forearms of the flame and storm form. Came with the weapon wielding hands, and of course it came with a closed fist hands. A die-cast made belt buckles with a translucent plastic here. And then lastly, the default open splayed hands for the ground form. I think it's called ground form. I forgot. It's been a while. So yeah, so that's the accessories of the figure. So here we do have the complete flame form. As you can see, the figure looks great though. It really looks great. You can go with the storm form as well if you want to, or you can go with the ground form or the Yuki form. It really depends on your liking. And also, you can go with the Trinity form. So Trinity form is a combination of the storm form, the ground form, and the flame form. So you would keep this one, and then the body here you would use the ground form right there, this one. And then for the arm here, you can use the storm form right there. So that's what a Trinity form looks like. And also, when you're gonna replace the parts, I would highly suggest you go with the forearm first before anything else, because it's you really need to be careful, and you know that's one of the I think difficult part to replace, because it's really you know, sometimes the ball joint doesn't fit properly on the socket of the forearm. So just a tip, and you need to be careful that you might, you know, break the peg right there. And anyway, like I mentioned, you can use this one. So it's a tacky stick that you can purchase in a hardware store or in an office supply store. You can just use a small amount of this just to put in which part is loose or, you know, tends to fall off easily. It really works in most of my S.I.C. and some figures, and when I do toy photography, that I have, you know, figures that tends to fall off easily. So yeah, you can use that. So here's a quick size comparison between the volume 19 and the volume 40 Kamen Rider Agito or Mask Rider Agito. So I think they were both sculpted by Kenji Ando, but this one came with the machine tornado or the bike of this character. As you can see here, there's some huge changes that he did work on here. The face here is much larger than this one, but they have a more vibrant looking eyes or compound eyes. The color scheme on the horns is I think I like this one better, but the sculpting is good with this one. It doesn't have the open mouth. Actually, the mouth hinge there, it's a little bit useless, I think, for me. And then I think the good thing about this one is that it has a good range of motion because of the hinge instead of ball joints, because this is closer to the modernization of this particular toy line. So they are now using hinges instead of ball joints, as you've seen here. Like, it has a good range of motion there. It has a bicep swivel like that. You know, pretty much in a articulation standards, everything that you didn't see here, you would be able to see here on this particular figure. So yeah, as far as the sculpting goes, actually I'm a little bit biased because I really like both. They have their own special thing going on. And then for the die-cast part, I think the knee guard here is a die-cast part here, and this part here. And then for this one, it's plastic, and then this is the only die-cast part here. For the back, right, the wing part is better for this figure compared to this one. You know, the butt is much better with this one instead of this one. And yeah, so overall, I really can't, you know, say that, you know, one is better than the other. But as far as the articulation piece, I would go with this guy. You know, if you really like an articulated figure that can deploy more range of motion, that I would go with this guy. But you know, if you really like, you know, artistic looking or monster looking one, then you can go with this one as well. So either or, you know, you won't be sorry. In case you're wondering, the grip of the hand for this figure, I forgot to mention earlier, it's kind of suck, because this one is very loose, you know, it's very loose compared to this one right here. It has a very firm grip on the spear, you know, despite the fact that it came with a die casting here. You know, it would be able to handle it accordingly compared to this one. It really sucked. very loose. So yeah, there you have it. So here's a quick comparison with the Doctor Doom figure and the 6-inch from Marvel Legends toy line next to the Kamen Rider Agito figure. And here we do have the New Order Stormtrooper from the Black series by Hasbro. Pretty small. And lastly, we do have here the DC Films by DC Collectibles Armored Batman from the Batman vs Superman movie. So yeah, so thanks for checking out my review. Please do subscribe to my channel, please, and you can check me out on Instagram as well. Yeah, so if you have questions or if you have anything to say, please do comment down below. Thank you guys. Later.